already this season. Could be a loud day for the D-backs offense.
Perdomo gets first look. And we know Jerry has homered twice on this trip. Now with 19 on the year, 95 runs batted in. Geraldo Perdomo's 6.3 wins above replacement ties him with Shohei Ohtani for #1 in the National League. He is #1 among all position players in the league in WAR.
How about that?
And he is 5th in the league in RBIs. He's having the type of season that should garner some down ballot MVP votes, and he continues to get better and better. Here's 91 for a strike. Ober, for such a big guy, not a hard thrower. It's barely a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Has a highly effective changeup, and he throws it quite a bit. All fastball so far to Perdomo. He'll throw the changeup to both the left and right-hand hitters. Changes shapes on his breaking ball with a slider and sweeper. Perdomo gets one up in the air, deep to right field. This has got some carry to it, but not quite enough as Wallner's able to track it down on the warning track for the first down. Let's take a look at what Bailey Ober has to offer here today.
As you mentioned, he leads with a four-seamer. His changeup is probably his best secondary pitch. Slider, sweeper, curveball, sinker. He'll mix them up pretty good. And those are the exit velocities against those respective pitches. That's what I mentioned. A lot of loud contact against the Twins right-hander.
Ketel Marte, the DH. Yeah, last night we saw a matchup of two fastball aces, Ryan Nelson and Joe Ryan. Whole different story today. Bailey Ober and Nabil Crismat. Ketel declared himself fit to play last night despite that nasty contusion on his right foot after he fouled the ball off that foot Wednesday at San Francisco. Back in the lineup after he was unavailable in the opener.
Yeah, last night's ball game was a little like waiting in the delivery room for your wife to have a baby. Everybody was watching Ketel's workout before the game to see if he would be able to play last night. He went through a little bit of a workout, took some ground balls, took some batting practice, and declared himself ready to go.
We looked at the lineup and said, it's a boy. He singled last night, struck out twice, hit into a double play. He's the DH today with Blaze Alexander at second and Jordan Lawler at third. 3-2 on Ketel. That's the changeup from Ober. That's really his biggest weapon. Corbin Carroll on deck. Line to right. Wallner got a bit of a late break, but he's tall enough to get to that one. And there's 2 outs. Once again, it gets an out on a changeup. 2 down for Corbin. Corbin Carroll, 30 home runs, 10th in the majors in OPS. It is a spectacular summer-like afternoon here. There's blue skies overhead. The humidity is up as it has been all weekend. And they are enjoying a little, I guess, farewell to summer here in the middle of September in Minnesota.
Guess I didn't need to bring my leather jacket.
Not even close. It is sticky today.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think the ball's going to be flying today, other than the fact that Ober gives up a lot of home runs. The heat and humidity that we've had here this time of year really lends itself to some long fly balls.
Yeah, very unseasonable this time of year here. Corbin pops it up. That's headed for the seats and out of play. Everyone here tells us that it's been kind of rainy and cold and dark the last couple of weeks, so this weekend is really an anomaly here. So the Diamondbacks scored big in the weather department this weekend.
Absolutely. And don't think guys don't check that when the schedule comes out. Where do we start the season? Oh, no, Chicago. Oh, it's going to be snowing. Where do we finish the season? Oh, no, Minnesota. It's going to be snowing.
Suitcases get a lot heavier. Corbin in the series has a pair of RBI hits. He's scored twice. He's walked 4 times. Stolen a couple of bases. Foul tip. And Gasper hangs on. There's the fastball from Ober. It's
to center field and let Alek Thomas run him down.
A lot of room out there. Buxton, the center fielder for the Twins, jumps on another first pitch and hits a sinking liner that Corbin tracks down for the first out. Here's a look around the diamond now at the D-back defense.
Going to highlight Corbin Carroll out there in right.
Austin Martin's been on base virtually this entire series. The Twins left fielder bats second. .299 in 38 games this year. He has been at the center of things for Minnesota in this series. He's got 3 hits. He's drawn 3 walks. He scored twice. Having a very strong finish to the year after he was hurt much of the first half of the season. Harden has hit .383 in his last 16 games. More walks than strikeouts over that stretch. He's doubled twice in the series. He nearly hit a home run last night. A ball bounced off the top of the left center field bullpen wall out there. Missed a home run by about an inch or two. So he has looked very impressive. Not so much on that one. And there's that changeup from Nabil Crismatt. And like Bailey Ober, that is his big weapon.
Yep.
Like we said, that's the put-away pitch, and he picks up his first strikeout.
And unlike a lot of starting pitchers, he'll throw that changeup 2, 3, 4 times in a row if he feels it's the right pitch against an opposing hitter. That was a really good one right there. Started on the inner third of the plate and just dive bombs down and in. Martin swings over it.
Here's Cody Clemens. As Todd mentioned, he's moved up from the bottom of the lineup near the top over the course of this series, and why not? He's up to .216 on the year, 19 homers, by far a career high. He has 6 hits and 7 runs batted in the series, and he scored 3 times. It's 2-0. Clemens had the big 3-homer, 5 RBI game Friday. Added a couple of hits last night. The big 2-run single that tied it up in the 8th inning. There's a little tapper foul.
Nelly was good once again last night. It was fun to watch him challenging these Twins hitters with that 4-seam fastball. He went right after him.
6 scoreless, 4 strikeouts, 90 pitches.
Boy, it really showed his mettle in that second inning when he gave up back-to-back singles to load the bases and then struck out the next 2 guys and got a rollover grounder to first to get out of the inning.
Literally got himself out of a bases loaded no-out jam. It was impressive to see. 3-1 on Clemens. Luke Keyshaw on deck. Cody Clemens out to righty. He's got another base hit. This has been the Cody Clemens series. 7 hits and 7 RBIs.
That's not a bat. That's a magic wand. Everything he hits finds grass or finds seats somewhere. That one fading away from him. Catches it right off the end of the bat. Little soft liner in front of Corbin Carroll for the first Twins knock.
Got a changeup from Crismatt, turned it into a base hit ahead of Keyshaw, the rookie second baseman. Keyshaw having a terrific start, .314, 4 home runs, a pair of hits and runs batted in the series. He scored twice. Well, Nabil Crismatt, you could say, kind of personifies this entire Diamondbacks season. It's a club that's needed to dig deep to options C, D, E, and F. And he has been a guy who's been overlooked. He's been picked up off the scrap heap, but he has been a determined and effective presence here. And they're counting on him again today. Now here he is pitching in a big game with a postseason spot perhaps at stake 2 weeks from the end of the year. And he's got the baseball. That's after he spent nearly all this season in the minor leagues pitching for the Phillies AAA affiliate in Lehigh Valley. He was released August 4th. Most weren't even aware he'd rejoined the Diamondbacks. He was briefly here in 2023, and how about that? Nabil Crismatt, 2 strikeouts to end the first. Bucks. Blaze Alexander in the cleanup spot today. Blaze at second base, 238, 7 homers, and a pair of hits last night, including that big 2-run wall ball double in the 10th. That created some cushion. And it was Blaze everybody wanted to talk to last night, and he said, coming down to the wire at the end, this clubhouse believes it's not a case of showing up with nothing to play for. They are in it. And that's what the standings say. 2 back with 13 to go.
You know, it may seem a little naive, and I've mentioned this before, but every manager, you're playing hard till the end till they put an X next to your name to signify that you've been eliminated from playoff contention. Until you get that X, you keep grinding.
That's the sweeper. Ober mixes up 2 shapes on that breaking ball, the slider and sweeper, and he got Blaze to chase that big sweeper for his second strikeout.
And like the rest of his deliveries, not a hard sweeper. That one started almost on the corner and dipped way over into the left-handed batter's box.
Start at third base today for Jordan Lawler. He gets a first pitch slider. Jordan struck out in both his at-bats late in last night's game. He's hit in 5 of his last 7. Swung the bat pretty well on this road trip. Runs that sinker up and in. Over 6 feet 9 inches tall, 260 pounds. They got some big boys on this Twins club.
Do. Ooh.
Got an offensive line.
I think that's why they played a day game here today, so those guys could go suit up for the Vikings tonight.
Vikings a couple of blocks away, going to play the late game tonight against the Atlanta Falcons. A lot of J.J. McCarthy, number 9 jerseys in the seats here today at Target Field.
Seen a bunch of them.
They are fired up about their Michigan quarterback. But it's Ober out there tossing them right now. In his previous start at Kansas City last Sunday, 5 1/3. Held the Royals to just 1 run, 4 hits. He had 6 strikeouts, pitched well. His first win since May 3rd. And he ties up Jordan Lawler, goes back to that sweeper. He's gotten 2 strikeouts on that pitch, and he's now punched out 3 in a row.
Hey, fans, when the D-backs hit a home run today, you score a free Jumbo Jack from Jack in a Box with the purchase of a large drink.
Well, one of the highlights of that last night provided by Alec Thomas. Ooh. Boy, did he get a hold of that one. His 9th of the year. Pushes that one the other way. Through 7 innings last night, Alec's towering 2-run homer was the only scoring for. This one's going to split the gap, and Alec Thomas is on the run as it gets to the wall. Buxton gets to it out there. It's a 2-out double for AT, and that's the Diamondbacks' first hit.
So you could tell that ball was in the gap right off the bat. The way they were playing him defensively out there in center and right field, there was no way either outfielder was going to catch.
Change up that Ober left up in the zone, and Alec nutted it out there. Here's McCann, the catcher. 247 and 3 homers. James, 34 games as a Diamondback. Back behind the plate today. And McCann played at Target Field quite a bit, having spent much of his career in this division with the Tigers and the White Sox. In fact, his first ever home run came in this ballpark back in April of 2015, his rookie year. And it was an inside the park home run.
Wow.
The ball ricocheted off the center field wall and just kept rolling, and McCann just kept running. That's throw. It's into left field. There comes Alec. Nice. No throw for Martin, and the Diamondbacks have a 1-0 lead. James McCann back at Target Field with the RBI hit. Back-to-back 2-out knocks.
Love those 2-out rallies. Twins were ready to head back into the dugout and pick those bats up once again, but the Alec Thomas double followed by the James McCann single is going to postpone that for a little while.
Ober had struck out 3 consecutive Diamondbacks, but a double and an RBI hit with 2 outs has made it 1-0. Here is Jorge Barosa. Jorge gets the start in left field. Switch hitter batting for the left-hand side. Royce Lewis is in a step or two at third on the grass.
Yeah, obviously you got to score runs in this ballpark to win games, but I think outfield defense is something every manager is concerned with when you come into this ballpark. It's such a big outfield, so much ground to cover. I think that's perhaps why Barossa gets the start today, plus the fact he's a switch hitter.
Well, the Twins at this point playing out the string, 18 games under 500. They're fourth in the American League Central. Rocco Baldelli's club 18-34 over the second half of the year. That's the Major League's worst record since the All-Star break after their roster dump at the deadline. That's the sweeper. It's been an effective pitch for Ober, and it's 2-2 on Barossa.
You got to give credit to Rocco Baldelli because his team's still playing hard. I mean, we've seen guys busting it down that first base line, making good defensive plays. They may not be winning a whole lot of ball games in the second half of the season, but it's not because they're not trying.
A lot of young guys getting a chance to play every day at this level for the first time. And the changeup puts him away. 4 strikeouts for Ober, but the Diamondbacks. Mutual Insurance Field coverage. That's what makes Bill Chrismat so sneaky. He kind of lulls you to death with a bunch of change-ups and then dots an 88-mile-an-hour fastball and strikes you out. As Matt Wallner leads off the Twins second. 204. He's got a lot of power, 21 home runs. He singled in Friday's opener, his only hit of the series. It's 2-0.
It's beat with a 2-0, 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's interesting. You just saw the way he worked Keyshaw, changeup, changeup, changeup.
Yeah.
He comes out and faces Wallner now. Fastball, fastball, fastball. Really mixing things up. Just keep him guessing. And another heater is in there. These might as well be 99.
Yeah, they might as well be when all you've seen is that changeup, and we haven't seen the slow curve yet. We will before the end of the day, but yeah, it makes that 87, 88 look like it's 108.
That's the pitch that Torey Lovullo really likes. He says it's kind of a comp to the changeup because they both really work to the same effect. Coming off all these fastballs. Wallner able to track that down. All fastballs to Wallner. And he pops out to third. Well, that's where a guy like McCann back there today has really got to help out Chris Mack.
Yeah. And Mac's very good at reading swings. He can tell if a guy's sitting on off-speed pitches. He can tell if a guy is still sitting on fastballs and call the appropriate pitch.
Royce Lewis, the third baseman.
Really like to see Mac get that hand behind his back.
They go right back to the changeup.
Yeah, after hitting the pitch com there for Chris Matt, he has that right hand up there in front of his body.
This is kind of fun. He's throwing all fastballs to Wall there, now all changeups to Lewis. That's a base hit into left field. One changeup too many there, and Lewis has the Twins' second hit.
And a little bit out in front that time as Royce Lewis hits it off the end of the bat, but a lot of wrist right at the end of that swing. Just flipped it out there into shallow left field.
Shortstop is Brooks Lee. Singled in the seventh inning last night, his only hit in the series. Jumps on the first one, pops it up behind second. Geraldo Perdomo backpedaling out there. And there's 2 outs in the second. This brings up a guy we saw in Boston last year. Switch hitting Mickey Gasper, who's got the Super Mario Brothers mustache. 155 in 40 games, his first year with the Twins. He's been doing a little more catching recently. They are without their starting catchers, Ryan Jeffers and Christian Vasquez. So this is our first look at Gasper in the series. He gets compared to Super Mario a lot. 28-year-old rookie in Boston last year. He was fighting to get his first big league hit in a series against the Diamondbacks. Yeah. He missed out last year with the Red Sox, went 0 for 18. But he finally did get in the hit column this year with the Twins. In fact, he hit his first home run as well. Talk about two journeymen going head-to-head. These guys have been around the baseball world and back again. Chris Matt and Gasper.
They've got the stickers on their luggage to prove it.
For sure. Gasper's been a career minor leaguer. Finally got that first ever crack with the Red Sox last year, just shy of his 29th birthday. Lewis is on the move. McCann throws a good one, but not in time. And Lewis has his 9th stolen base.
Well, in case you haven't been with us for the first 2 games, Rocco Baldelli reportedly has given the entire team the green light when they get on first base. Haven't seen as much running as we anticipated, but Royce Lewis with a good jump right there. Tough pitch for Mac to handle. Just too late at second base that time.
And Perdomo having a debate with Royce Lewis about whether he was actually safe or not. 3-0 on Gasper. He's been primarily a catcher and first baseman over his minor league career, but he's one of those athletic catchers. He plays second base, did that a lot in Boston, and has clearly paid his dues. Just fouled at first. That would have tied the game.
As you said, Gasper getting a little more playing time than he probably anticipated because of the injuries to their top 2 catchers. He's given up 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts this year.
Nice guy to have on the roster. You can stick him behind the plate, put him at second base, wherever you need him. 3-2 pitch. Gasper from Merrimack, New Hampshire. He's out of Bryant University in Smithfield, Rhode Island. Grew up in New Hampshire. Spent the bulk of his pro career in the Yankees minor league system. And was a Rule 5 pick by the Red Sox last year. Now here he is with the Twins. Again on 3-2. Couldn't quite hang on to the foul tip. Pokes it to third. Waller was screened by Lewis, perhaps. It was running right in front of him. Perfectly legal. And Jordan might have been blocked or distracted there, and he couldn't make the play. Torlavella has been on Lawler to tighten up the defense. That's why he's been DHing lately.
A little half swing bumps that ball to the left side. I think he just clanked it. He may have been distracted by the runner, but looked like he was still in a good position to make a play right there. That'll be an error on Jordan Lawler.
And so the number 9 man comes up. Edouard Julien, the DH, bats 9th. 2 outs and runners in the corners. Julien singles the pinch hitter in that game Friday night. Spent nearly all of May, June, and July in the minor leagues. And he's got a base hit into left center to tie it up. And Gasper takes a big turn, heads in for third. The error by Lawler leads to a Twins run, and we're tied at 1.
That's similar to the base hit Julien had as a pinch hitter off the bench in game 1. Stayed on a pitch away from him and lined it out there in the left center field.
And now you deal with Byron Buxton with 2 runners on base in a tie game. Buxton lined out to right on the game's first pitch from Nabil Crismatt. First pitch swinging again, once more for Jordan. Long throw, and it's off the glove of Tower. Gasper's home, Julien into third, and Buxton's at second. It's 2-1 Twins. Perdomo's going to gather everybody on the mound to hit the reset button. Error in the inning on Jordan Lawler. Here is Martin, who struck out in the first. Martin's had a big series, 3 hits. 3 walks. He scored 2 runs. 0 for 1 so far. Julien at third, Buxton at second. And there's the strike. It's 1-2. The sinker up in the zone. Austin Martin calls timeout. Nabil Crismatt should have been out of this inning. Instead, he's down 2-1, and he's got 2 runners in scoring position. 2-2 to Martin. It's full. And guess who's on deck? Cody Clemens. Line to short, right to Perdomo. But the damage is done. Minnesota takes a 2.
that he faced in that second inning, and that is the second or third time we've heard him bring that up, and the mental side of it, not letting anything get too big for him, and then obviously amping up with that fastball, getting those 2 strikeouts and walking off the mound unscathed there. Bob, a quick follow-up. I asked him when he thought and figured out that the Twins were being uber aggressive.
Apparently Todd is down.
Wow.
Oh, he forgot to, it's like the pitch com, he forgot to charge it.
Yep.
Thank you, Todd. Tim Towel leads off the third against Bailey Ober. And Ober has got that changeup working. He has struck out 5 of the first 9 batters he's faced.
I've told the story many times about playing in Toronto for Cito Gaston, who started the season as our hitting coach, finished the season as the manager, and he used to talk about facing a guy like Bailey Ober. Sometimes you have to turn it around and give up the fastball. He's going to throw you lots of sweepers and changeups and sliders. Sometimes you have to go to the plate and look for what he's throwing rather than sit on fastball.
Here is Geraldo Perdomo. We mentioned that Ober's last start last Sunday at Kansas City, his first win since May 3rd. It snapped a 16-start winless streak. But the thing that made it even more impressive, he threw 85 pitches in that start, only 24 fastballs. And he's kind of got the same program going here today so far. And he said he was able to mix and locate his off-speed stuff, whether that was change-ups or the slider, the sweeper. And he saw that the Royals hitters just weren't adjusting, and he just stayed with it. Perdomo hits one high in the air and down the line, and that one is foul. Boy, they have hit about a dozen home runs over there in this series.
I mean, not a lot of wind to speak of, kind of blowing in from right center field or from left to right maybe. I might have pushed that one foul a little bit.
2-2. Jerry looking for that 2020 season. He's got 19 homers, 26 stolen bases. This rolls to second for Keyshaw from the edge of the outfield grass, and there's 2 outs into third. Well, here's Ketel Marte, who is the DH, which is one reason why Blaze Alexander's at second and Jordan Longler's playing third. Marte getting a half a day off on that foot. Lined out to right his first time.
Now, Ketel 1 for 5 in the ball game last night. He singled in the 5th inning, also struck out twice and hit into a double play.
Yeah, Ketel, you'll recall, homered in back-to-back games against Texas at Chase Field to begin this month. But since then, including today, he is, 4 for 32.
Got to get this bat going.
It's going out to center, but room for Buxton. And Ober has his shutdown 1-2-3 third. Clemens starts off the third against Nabil Crismatt. Clemens has already got another hit. Now 7 hits, 7 runs batted into the series. He singled his first time up today. And that bounces foul. Cody Clemens hit a .145 as a Tigers rookie 3 years ago. He was a bit player in Philadelphia the last 2 seasons. Was designated for assignment by the Phillies this spring and sold off to the Twins. And now look at him. 19 homers and 50 runs batted in. Tap to second. Blaze Alexander's there today. And there's one away into third. Never know. Sometimes you change the scenery, you get enough consistent at-bats, and off you go.
A change of vocabulary. You get a hitting coach that terms things a little differently than you're used to hearing, and it just might strike a nerve with a guy. Either that or they told him, if you make too many outs, we're going to send you back down to the minor leagues.
That too. St. Paul's just across the river.
That's right. Take an Uber.
That's right. Pretty good relationship they have here with the Saints and St. Paul, their AAA club. Just a very short drive away. So that one grazed Keyshaw, a hit batter for Nabil Crismatt, a one-out runner for Matt Wallner now.
Didn't even put a wrinkle in his shirt. Just kind of grazed off his left sleeve right there.
Wallner popped out his first time. Dangerous left-hand batter. A weak tapper to second. Blaze has one play. Keyshaw moves up, and there's 2 outs in the third. Well, Royce Lewis got things started for the Twins. A 1-out single in the second. He stole a base and then scored on one of 2 Jordan Lawler errors at third in that inning. And a 1-0 Diamondback lead became a 2-1 Twins lead. They have Keyshaw at second and 2 down. Lewis earlier this year, a couple of injured list stints with left hamstring trouble, hit just .224 in the first half, but he's been healthy and hitting the ball well since the All-Star break. 9 of his 12 home runs have come over the second half of the year. Does have 4 hits in this series, all singles. Well, you can spot that fastball and sneak it in there for strikes.
I just love the fact that Nabil Crismatt knows who he is and what he has and how he needs to pitch to get big league hitters out.
I think he's kept, for the most part, his curveball in the back pocket.
Yeah.
They may be waiting for that pitch the third time through the lineup if they let him go that long, but we've not seen the curveball today.
Yeah, that's a pitch he's used very effectively in his previous starts.
Yeah. A lot of fastballs here. And Lewis just gets a piece, and finally, right as we called for it, there's the curveball.
Must have hurt us.
Tommy Watkins, their third base coach, checking on Lewis. He might have tweaked something there. It came up and got him. The trainer going to come out and have a look. Royce Lewis has had a wave of injuries over a very promising career. He was the #1 pick in the draft back in 2017. And he has dealt with every serious injury you can have. Missed all of 2021 after surgery on a torn ACL in his right knee. Broke into the big leagues the next year. Played a dozen games, crashed into the outfield wall, needed another surgery on that same right knee. Missed nearly 60 games at the start of last year with a right quad injury. Was out for much of last summer with a groin pull. He's had it all. And he gets this one up and deep to left. Barossa in front of the track, and he's able to get there for the final out. We go to the fourth inning here at Target. D-backs trail it 2-1. Corbin struck out his first time up today against Bailey Ober. Ober has punched out 5. He's thrown 46 pitches, 32 for strikes. He's not a pitcher that walks anybody. But when he's in the zone as much as he is, he does give up some home runs. They haven't really connected yet. Alec Thomas hit a solid double to right center, but that's been it. There's another foul ball home run up there. And one more. One hears the term extension with certain pitchers, and Ober at 6'9" is an extension all-star. The ability with that length to simply let the ball go closer to home plate than most pitchers. And Corbin pops it up near the mound. Ober's under it, and he's going to take it himself.
Not bad.
Well, he's the tallest guy. It's the shortest drop. That's 5 in a row retired by the Minnesota right-hander.
Yeah, Royce Lewis was playing straight up at the shortstop position. He had a long way to go to get there, and Mickey Gasper coming out from behind the plate was banging shin guards together and throwing the mask away, and Bailey Ober just said, don't worry about it, I'll get it.
I'm already standing here. Blaze a strikeout victim his first time. Ooh. Well, that's the fastball at 90. That sinker running in on the right-hander.
Oh, yeah, no guard on that left arm.
Here comes Max Esposito to have a look.
Well, no guard on today, but I'm pretty sure he'll have one on tomorrow.
Yeah, he's feeling that. Still stings. Oh, direct hit.
Man, right on the elbow. Oof. pounding the ground. I mean,
a sinker like that from a righty to a righty, it's kind of chasing you. You can duck out of the way all you want, but it's like when a bumblebee is chasing you. And this one stings just as much.
I hate to be heartless here, but because it is his elbow, he could run the bases and give somebody time to prepare to go out and play defensively at second base if necessary.
Now he's going to take the base. One out runner now for Lawler. One more look.
Oh, man, direct hit.
Jordan now. Jordan struck out in the second his first time versus Bailey Ober. Slider didn't get there, and it's 1-0.
Time for a redeemer here. Jordan Lawler with 2 errors in that inning.
And led to 2 Twins runs. Hard to third and fair down the line. He smashed it at Karams off the padding out there. Blazes into third, and Lawler's in standing second with a double. Boy, Jordan was all over that, 104 miles an hour off the bat.
Right down that third base line. That ball was smoked.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned he's been making better contact. When he does make contact, the ball's really jumping off his bat. Hooking line drive.
He's hit now in 6 of his last 8 games, and over that stretch, he's got 5 doubles. So it's not just a bunch of little singles. He's hitting the ball and squaring it up. A chance for Alek Thomas, who doubled in the second. Had the big home run here last night. Go-ahead runs in scoring position with 1 away, and it's 0-1. Tim Bogar coaching at third. Gasper able to glove that one.
And when a guy throws so many off-speed pitches and change-ups and sweepers, that time it looked like a sinking fastball. Gasper could only reach out there and backhand that ball. Kept it from going to the backstop, though.
Ball and a strike on Alek Thomas. Faces that slider way up there. That pitch has always been something of a kryptonite pitch for Alek Thomas. It's hard to lay off. Infield creeping in for the Twins. And he goes to the changeup and gets strikeout number 6. Alek pleading his case here with Chris Guccione. And here comes Torey Lovullo. The second. He's got second and third, 2 down. And he get another 2-out RBI. This would be a big one. Oh. McCann drives it deep to left field. That ball's on its way and it's gone. James McCann, who hit his first ever homer here at Target Field and inside the Parker, and that one's out of here. And with one swing, McCann has knocked in 4 runs.
Yeah, it's better when you hit him over the fence. You don't have to run as hard.
The RBI single in the second and the 3-run homer in the fourth. All 4 RBIs by McCann with 2 outs.
Boy, talk about an ambush. He did get a fastball tailing back toward the middle of the plate, and he barreled that ball to left field. Well, that's just what you hope for from your backup catcher. Come in and call a good game. Try to keep your pitcher in there as long as possible and provide a little bit of offense. He's provided a lot of offense already today.
Yeah, that's a jumbo jack. A free jumbo jack tomorrow. A Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink courtesy of James McCann. And that's been the problem with Ober. He leads the American League in home runs allowed. That's the 30th home run he's given up this year in his 25th start. Jorge Barossa now. Barossa the left fielder today. Tap to first, stays fair for Cody Clemens, who makes a nice athletic play. But James McCann, the RBI single in the second and the 3-run home run in the fourth. And Brooks Lee, the shortstop, leads it off for the Twins against Nabil Crismatt, who now holds a 4-2 lead. We'll try and get you some word on Blaze Alexander's condition. But that's the last thing they need right now.
That Blaze is probably on his way to the training room right now to get some ice on that elbow immediately. I'm sure they have x-ray equipment here at the ballpark. Check it out before even getting on the plane to Phoenix after the ball game.
They will give Brooks Lee all of right center field and, you know, maybe a bridge or two, whatever you want. Look at all that room out there.
They always get a little concerned when you leave a gap like that to a guy's pull side of the field because Crismatt throws so many off-speed pitches. Eventually, some of them are going to be hit to that pull field.
That's an enormous gap between Thomas and Carroll. But Chrismat just dancing that changeup up there, gets a strikeout. That's his third, and there's one away.
Such good downward movement on that pitch. I've said it before, the arm action, the release point, everything tells hitter fastball. And then the ball just floats up there.
Mickey Gasper looks at a curveball for a strike. Starting to see that pitch a little bit more often from Chrismat.
Another good curveball. That one started in the strike zone and ended up out of the strike zone, down and in.
1-2. On the ground to Vargas. In there for Blaze. 2 outs.
Usually it's the very first batter that hits a ground ball to the new guy, but we had to wait till the second hitter of the inning to get Vargas involved.
It is amazing how often that happens. Edouard Julien is the DH batting ninth. He had an RBI single his first time up today. Julien had 16 homers in just over 100 games as a Twins rookie 2 years ago. It looked pretty good, but he has slumped the last 2 years. He spent all this summer across the river at AAA St. Paul. Played 70 games for the Saints over there. Just rejoined the big league roster August 1st. There they are, that great Twins logo, Minnie and Paul shaking hands over the Mississippi River. They were doing tours here the other day, and then one of the tour guides was telling folks that they paid a guy like $20 to do that logo, and they've kept it ever since.
Wow.
Back in, I believe it was 61. And it's stood the test of time.
It sure has.
A classic.
Hey, you mentioned what a great ballpark this is. I'm sure you've had a chance to get out on the concourse behind the press box. They have displays for almost every player who's ever contributed to the Twins.
It has a great history going back to the 60s. Tony Oliva, Rod Carew, Olio Versailles, Jim Cott, Harmon Killebrew, of course, then Ken Herbeck, Kirby Puckett, that era. There's Blyleven's 28, Tom Kelly's 10, Joe Mauer's 7, Perry's 36. I believe we were here 2 years ago when they had the Joe Mauer ceremony.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
It was a big day. Dan Gladden spoke for quite a while. I noticed he came in and wrote a message in your scorebook while you weren't looking.
Yeah, an inspirational message on the bottom of my scorebook.
Is that even physically possible? 3-2. Once more for Vargas. Easy as you please. 5 in a row set down by Chrismat, who holds it 4-2.
sunlight, so Chris Matt will go down and go up the tunnel. It is air conditioned. That's where the indoor batting cages are. He's got a seat and a table and a fan, and he's got a fleet of guys letting him know when there's 2 outs and it's time to get ready to go back out there. But I will tell you, he didn't need anyone to tell him that McCann had just hit one out of the park. He bounded out of his chair and made his way back up to get ready for that next half of an inning.
He's a wonderful guy, Nabil, Chris Matt. He's super personable, very warm, friendly guy. Shakes hands, says hello to everybody he sees. He's a very easy guy to root for. Tim Towett starts off the 5th.
Now, talking about Chris Matt sitting down the tunnel, RJ used to do the same thing at Chase Field occasionally. It would get a little muggy in there sometimes, and Randy had a chair and an ice bucket and whatever the drink was he was drinking down there, and he would change jerseys a couple times during the course of the ball game.
Lewis in foul territory, into the net.
We used to call it Camp Sunshine.
Understandably. Well, Bailey Ober's out there in long sleeves. It is very warm here. It's been all weekend, but a particularly sunny day today. 1:10 start local time this afternoon. Couldn't quite hang on to the foul tip. Ober goes to that changeup. Ober through 4 innings was at 63 pitches, 43 strikes. He's got 6 strikeouts. Only mistakes, if you want to call them that he's made were to James McCann, the RBI single in the 2nd and the 3-run home run in the 4th. That's Tawa. That sweeper's been a good pitch for him, too. He's punched out 7.
Got to either make a better pass at it and put it in play to the right side of the field or lay off of it. Right on the edge of the strike zone that time. Might have been a called strike anyway, but
he's been getting some chase with that pitch.
Yep.
Perdomo 0 for 2. Jerry 3 hits in the series, including a long 2-run homer in the opener Friday. Picked up a pair of hits last night. It's been an amazing season for Perdomo, and if you don't think he's doing all of this while he's beat up, battered, bruised, and sore, you're not paying attention. He refuses to come out of the lineup.
what is it about shortstops? We heard the same thing about Ellie De La Cruz. Tito Francona said if I take him out of the lineup, I'm going to have to fight him.
Perdomo's the same way.
Yep.
Among the major league leaders in games played. And he's so valuable, I think Torrey's given up asking if you can give him a day off. He needs him out there every day.
Especially at this point of the season.
Mm-hmm. Perdomo doing what he does. He's seen it all in this at bat. Sweeper, four-seamer, sinker, changeup. Just keeps going. Changeup spiked. Boy, we're so used to this, you don't even think about it anymore. But this is the 8th pitch of the at-bat for Perdomo. He just wears guys out. Now, on a day like this with the weather conditions, as Todd mentioned, that means something here. We're going to keep going again. Fights off a fastball. Marte on deck. He's 0 for 2. Pitch number 9 to Geraldo Perdomo.
Oh, what a play by the ball dude.
How about that? That's a good hands play. Had it all the way.
Nothing to it. Didn't even have to get off his stool down there.
One more. Had to get. Wow, back to back. Look at the range. Stay hot.
Yeah, that was a line drive right to him. Had to range far to his right to make the second play.
11th pitch to Perdomo. In the air for Buxton. A lot of room out there. 2 down in the 5th. An 11 pitch at bat by Perdomo. And now Ober's at 80 pitches. Here's Cattell. Marte 0 for 2. He's lined out, flied out.
A little intent with that swing. Way out in front.
He's not used to seeing a lot of 89-mile-an-hour fastballs. Carves this one the other way. I imagine it's pretty good policy to have Ober follow Joe Ryan in their rotation.
Yeah.
Ryan's throwing, 95, 96 up there all day, and then you get Ober doing this.
Just like Ryan Nelson, followed by Nabil Chrismat.
Exactly right.
Think back to the Houston Astros back in the day. They'd run Nolan Ryan at you in game 1 of a series, and then Bob Nepper, a soft tossing lefty in game 2, and then come back with J.R. Richard in game 3 throwing 100.
Another fastball. Cattell won't bite. Corbin would be next. Ober mixing up the 4-seamer and the change. 2-2 on Marte. Ooh, tied him up with a sweeper. Boy, Cattell spun around like a top on that one.
That sweeper just kind of hung there. Didn't really take much break at all. Throw it again.
Yeah. Full count. Really making Ober work. He's not a guy that gets up into triple digits pitch count wise. He doesn't go particularly deep in his starts. Throwing a lot of pitches here in this 5th. And we got Cattell on the changeup. 8 strikeouts through 5 for Bailey Ober.
Wow. You got to be known for something, I guess.
What did Roger Craig tell you after the game?
He said I should be comeback player of the year for that one game alone.
4 errors in the 4th inning, 3 muff ground balls, and 1 bad throw. One was a double error.
Yeah. I kicked the ball, and by the time I picked it up, I thought I still had a chance on a runner going from third to home, and Bob Melvin didn't jump high enough. Threw it all the way to the backstop.
But he had homered earlier in the game, had a 2-run single in the 7th, and then the walk-off homer, 4 RBIs. What a day.
Well, and I'll tell you, you've heard athletes talk about it, and you've seen athletes that get in that zone. A golfer that makes every putt, a basketball player that hits every shot. That's what I felt like after those 4 errors. There was an incredible sense of calm that came over me, which was highly unusual. And the ball slowed down. The game slowed down. Fortunately, Roger ended up putting me back behind the plate for the remainder of the ball game, and had an opportunity in the 9th inning with 2 outs and a full count against Paul Ossenmacher, and launched a homer to left.
No doubter. And you had a heck of a bat flip, too. It's a big league bat flip.
Didn't even realize it. That was just one of those moments that you had no way to know how you're going to react after nearly blowing the game single-handedly and then winning the game. Yeah, that was a crazy day.
It's just baseball, Susan.
There were only about, 14,000 people at Candlestick that day, but I probably talked to 100,000 people that said they were there that day.
Jordan Lawler at third. Nice clean play by Jordan. 2 quick outs in the 5th after the strikeout of Buxton for Nabil Crismatt. Crismatt's now set down 7 consecutive Twins, and the batter will be Cody Clemens. Well, this is what you love about Nabil Crismatt. He's got him into the 5th inning. He's retired the last 7 he's faced. The only runs he's given up really were because of some defensive errors behind him. And he's got a 4-2 lead. This is exactly what you would hope for. Kyle Backus set to go in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Changeup still works. Clemens single in the 1st. He grounded out his last time up.
Yeah, it's hard to explain to the average fan why that changeup is so effective. I mean, I faced some of the best changeup pitchers in the game back in the day. John Tudor and Dave LaPointe and Mario Soto. It looks like a fastball. When that ball leaves Nabil's hand, it looks like a fastball to a hitter. Has basically the same rotation, the same release point, the same arm angle. Everything looks like a fastball, and then it comes up there about 8 to 10 miles an hour slower than his fastball.
And then he tries to sneak a real fastball in there, but just missed. It's 3-1. Didn't get the call that time for Chris Guccione. Left center, Alec Thomas. Nabil Crismatt has done it again. 5 innings. He's gotten them into the 6th. Corbin 0 for 2. To Bill Chrismat, looks like it's job done. 5 innings, 83 pitches. The only runs he gave up were unearned, just 3 hits. Didn't walk a batter and had 4 strikeouts. He retired the final 8 batters he faced. And did not give up a hit after the second inning. He was terrific.
Must be a pitch comm issue. They got the bat boy running back and forth between the dugout and the field. Apparently it was the wrong one. It might just be my imagination, partner, but it seems like the time of game is getting longer as the season goes on. Hitters have learned how to use their timeouts. Pitchers have learned how to ask for a new ball if they need a little extra time. They've figured out some loopholes in the rules, and because of that, the game time has been extended somewhat.
Well, let's see. I think we've gone from some 220s to 235-ish kind of games. Friday was a long one here.
Yeah.
And then he played extras last night.
I mean, when we first started playing under these new speed-up rules, if you will, hardly anybody called timeout at the plate. They get in the box and finish their at bat.
Well, I think that's probably the sweet spot. If you can still find moments here and there to take a breath and not feel rushed, but at the same time still work within the time restrictions, that's probably what you're looking for. You can only manipulate things a little bit. Wallner will give this a look in the corner down there. Well, the Diamondback hitters have flooded that zone with foul balls this whole series.
They're hitting 600 foul down the first baseline in this series.
I'd like to get Corbin going on this road trip. He is 2 for 19. Did not have a hit against the Giants. Did have the 2 RBI singles in the game here Friday. But that has been it for this trip. He's still third in the major leagues, Corbin Carroll, in extra base hits. He's behind only Ohtani and Judge. That's hit hard up the middle. A nice backhand pick there by the shortstop, Brooks Lee. Boy, Corbin hit that one pretty hard, but Lee was right there. .107 off the bat.
Right at him. You could see him shaded almost straight up the middle of the field as far as he could go legally, and unfortunately Corbin hit it right at him.
Ildemaro Vargas came on for Blaze Alexander. Blaze hit right on that left elbow with a fastball in the 4th inning. Had to come out of the game. Vargas has taken over at second base. Ildemaro was briefly a Twin, played 10 games with Minnesota in that COVID truncated season 2020. And Vargas has had a terrific bat on this trip. He's hit in 4 straight games, 6 of his last 7 in fact. 5 RBIs over that stretch. Once more for Clemens at first. That must be a nice target if you're the first baseman to see 6'9" Bailey Over running over there to take the toss.
Don't throw it low.
Better not. Jordan Lawler belted a double in the 4th inning. Came around to score on the McCann home run. Jordan had 2 errors in the 2nd inning behind Nabil Crismatt that led to 2 Minnesota runs. Diamondbacks had a 1-0 lead. Minnesota took a 2-1 lead. Crismatt did not allow a base hit after that. And now it's 4-2 Diamondbacks. Kyle Backus was up earlier. Now Anthony DeSclafani is in the bullpen. Looks like Crismat is done after 5 innings and 83 pitches.
Well, he did dazzle again today.
It's amazing.
It really is.
He has been efficient, he has been consistent, and he has really helped save things here to get them near the finish line. Tied him up with a sweeper. 9 strikeouts through 6 for Bailey. After nearly a month on the injured list, he's out there to start the bottom of the 6th. Luke Keyshaw, the rookie second baseman, gets first look.
Now some tough location misses for DeSclafani in that game against the Giants, who were swinging hot bats in that series.
Well, they figured Crismat had done his job. 83 pitches through 5. Gave up just 2 unearned runs. Only 3 hits. He had set down 8 straight. Done for the day. Line to center, and Alec Thomas drifts back to get it. Let's check in with Todd Walsh. Todd.
Guys, I was just thinking about the ride over on the 8:30 bus today and how bench coach Jeff Bannister was holding court, talking to some of the other coaches, saying, is this remarkable or what? Have any of you guys ever experienced a season like this where you've lost so many games that you were in position to win, lost so many players to injury, yet in the middle of September, you're right in it, which is why I asked Torey Lovello earlier today, do you believe what's happening? And I fully expected him to say, Steve and Bob, of course I do. But he didn't. You heard him. He said, I don't believe it, but I have to, so I will, basically. and it's fascinating to watch. It's just amazing to see these guys maneuver through every single day, the highs and the lows of September baseball, and the esprit de corps and the camaraderie that exists in every corner of this group of men that is out here trying to put it all together.
You can say what you want. We all know part of the narrative of the season, Todd, with all the injuries early and the bullpen blow-ups late, but they have not quit. Torey Lovullo has not let them quit. And here they are with the final game of the season 2 weeks from today, and they are only 2 games out of a postseason spot. And they have not given up when it would have been easy to time and time again, and he has not let them. Three and one on Matt Wallner. Wallner's got the big power, and there goes a long one. Well, the home run bug that bit Anthony DeSclafani in San Francisco strikes again in Minneapolis, and it's a 1-run game. That's Wallner's 22nd.
The only doubt you had on that drive to right center was, is it high enough to get over that tall wall out there in right center field? Alec Thomas gave it a look, but no chance. That ball up over everything out there.
That's what Wallner brings to the table. Thunder in the bat, says Rocco Baldelli. Royce Lewis now. Wallner, a Minnesota native from Forest Lake, about 40 minutes from here. Short center, Vargas drifting way out there, calling everyone off. Vargy backpedaling all the way out to medium outfield. And he's there to collect out number 2.
Yeah, with this big outfield and the outfielders playing deep, sometimes those infielders got to range way out there to catch pop-ups. Nice job by Ildemaro that time.
Shortstop is Brooks Lee, 0 for 2. He has 1 hit in the series, a single in the 7th inning last night. And that's a bouncer for Vargas. DeSclafani gets him to the 7th, but the Twins get one back. So he has been around. Alek Thomas, who homered last night and doubled today, starts off the 7th.
Cabrera throws a couple of different fastballs, a sinker in the mid-90s, a four-seamer also in the mid-90s, mixes in a curve, a cutter, and a split.
Yes, he went, says Edwin Moscoso. Alek Thomas to center, gets it started. Trying to get that run back. It's a leadoff single. Alek's second hit today. And here comes James McCann, who has done all the damage for the Diamondbacks. An RBI single in the 3rd and a 3-run homer in the 4th. It's the drive of the game presented. See if they want to get Alek Thomas started. Left-hander out there on the mound for the Twins. McCann pops up a bunt. Been a tough year for Genesis Cabrera. He signed a minor league deal with the Mets last November. Was designated for assignment in May. Hooked on with the Cubs. Got designated for assignment in June. Hooked up with the Pirates. Was designated for assignment in August. And now here he is in Minneapolis. Foul at third. It's 0-2.
And I would say the number that Cabrera is wearing probably indicates his next DFA. 13 bombs against the Twins for James McCann.
His first ever home run was in this ballpark and inside the Parker that caromed off the center field wall when he was a rookie. There goes Alek Thomas, swing and a miss. Casper with a throw, and AT is in there. McCann strikes out, but they get Thomas into second.
Yeah, gets that one easily that time. Gasper takes a long time to unload that ball.
Rosa will bat from the right-hand side. Jorge 0 for 2. Starts in left field. Diamondbacks about hit the Twins 5-4. They lead at 4-3. Would be helpful to get another Met loss. They are tied up right now at home 2-2 with the Texas Rangers. They're in the 7th inning. Cardinals have a 3-2 lead at Milwaukee. They're in the 6th. Jock Peterson had a 2-run single for the Rangers in that Met game as Barossa strikes out. Reds getting ready to get underway against the A's in Sacramento.
Jorge chased a bad one that time. Fastball up and away out of the zone.
Well, there's an RBI out there for Tim Tawa if you can find a 2-out hit. He was 0 for 2 against Ober. Tawa's been a big part of things since he rejoined the team last week. 5 hits in his 4 games on this trip. He's doubled twice and he's scored 5 times. Base hit here can make it a 2-run cushion again. Foul at third.
Yeah, hit that big double leading off the 9th inning in what we thought was enough to win the ball game. Unfortunately, the Twins came back in the bottom half of the 9th, but Timmy got it started with a gapper to right center.
Cabrera just throwing jump up there. Splitters, curveballs. He's got a cutter and a sinker as well. 0-2 on Tawa. Timmy delivers, dunks it into right center. This will get Thomas home. Tim Towers done it again, and he makes it 5-3 Diamondbacks. Boy, has he had a trip or what? He has been terrific.
A lot of base hits over there on that right side of the field. Tawa takes advantage, just guides one out there toward the gap in right center. Plenty deep enough to score Alec Thomas.
All 5 Diamondback runs today have come with 2 outs.
Nice.
And a lineup turns over for Perdomo. So they get the Wallner run back after the homer in the bottom of the 6th. And it's 5-3. There goes Tawa. Asper with a throw wide of the bag, and Timmy is in there. And they keep their foot on the gas.
Chaos. I love it. Great jump over there by Tawa. You can see Geraldo Perdomo realized he had a huge jump. Get out of the way. Don't swing. Don't foul it off. Just take the pitch. Let the guy steal the base.
0-1 on Perdomo, who can deliver another pad run right here. 2 out hits have been the theme today. Zoom ball. Ooh. A splitter that Cabrera lost the handle on. And almost threw that to St. Paul.
Yeah, we saw Gabby make a similar play last night for the Diamondbacks, one that was headed for the backstop. He leaped up out of his crouch and caught it before it went to the backstop.
Not afraid to go right back to that split finger pitch. Missed again, and it's 2-1. And now Gasper would like a word. Maybe you should stop throwing that pitch. D-backs back home after this one to open up a long homestand against the Giants, the Phillies, and the Dodgers. Zach Gallen will be on the mound at Chase Field tomorrow night. 1-3 against the San Francisco Giants. Diamondbacks right on their heels in the fight for that last wild card spot.
Well, and if the Giants' rotation has not changed since we saw him at the beginning of this trip, Logan Webb pitched last night. I would assume Robbie Ray's throwing today. So it'd be nice to miss those 2 guys.
Sure would. After the way they both pitched the other last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbie Ray is on the mound against Tyler Glass now. That game about to get started at Oracle Park. 3-1 to Perdomo, fouled away. There it is, the matchup. Here's that Mets score. The Mets in a free fall. Jock Peterson just tied up the game. Texas got 2 in the top of the 7th. It's now 2-2. Cardinals lead 3-2 at Milwaukee. St. Louis still in the discussion. That shadow starting to creep across home plate now. We had a 1:10 afternoon start local time. Bright, sunny, very hot day here today. Unseasonably warm mid-September in Minnesota. 3-2, fouled straight back.
Jerry looks like he was confused where to rub first. He went to his hip. He flexed his left hand. He grabbed his arm.
It's because everything hurts.
Yep.
He didn't know where to go. Once again on 3-2. Here we go again with Perdomo.
The guy is amazing.
He is. The highest rated position player in the National League in terms of wins above replacement. Geraldo Perdomo, 5th in the league in RBIs. Playing shortstop every day. Eighth pitch, and we'll do it again. They're trying to get him out with fastballs. Cabrera has that family of fastballs, the four-seamer, the sinker, and the cutter. And he's using them all here. Ninth pitch coming up to Geraldo Perdomo. He almost hit him. Perdomo's already been hit a couple of times by pitches in this series, but he earned that base on balls. And he'll hand it off to Ketel Marte. Rocco Baldelli going out to the mound. And he's going to get Cabrera out of there. They don't want Marte hitting right-handed. And so they'll go to the right-hander out there. We saw him the other day. That's Michael Tonkin coming in. We'll take a break from Minneapolis right after this. Marte is yet to be heard from today. The DH 0 for 3. Fastball down and away for ball one. Way outside again.
Yeah, when Tonkin came into that ball game on Friday, he walked the first batter he faced, Tim Tawa, ahead of the two-run homer by Geraldo Perdomo. Looks like he's going to walk the first guy he faces here again today.
Boy, Jerry was pretty far off that bag and just did make it back in time as Gasper backpicked, and that was awfully close. That would have been a pretty big no-no with Marte at the plate. It's 3-0 on Ketel. Swings 3-0 and grounds out right to second. Diamondbacks get one. We stretch in Minnesota. Your boy Gladden. He came in here with a mean look on his face, asking me if I was responsible for getting you that picture. I said, no, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
He is so funny. Oh, man. He told me a story. I had forgotten this, but he reminded me of it, and then it did come back to me. When Roger Craig was managing the Giants, we had to wear coats and ties on the plane.
Ugh.
Well, yeah. Well, Danny came to the ballpark as a rookie, his first road trip, and he had his tie ready, had his sports coat, had everything ready to go, and we got in his locker and took his tie.
Oh. You guys were so mean.
He was a rookie.
No wonder he's always angry, looking to fight everybody.
So Danny, not knowing what to do, he had no tie. Roger said, "Where's your tie?" So he took his shoelaces out of his cleats, tied them together, and made a bolo tie just so he could get on the team plane.
Got to improvise. Corbin all the way to the wall. And that one's another Twins home run. Mickey Gasper, just his second career homer, and once again, it's a one-run ball game. Well, this is what did Anthony in that appearance the other day in San Francisco. Gave up 3 homers in 3 innings. He's given up 2 in 2 innings here today.
Well, I was watching Corbin Carroll, and I thought he was going to make another catch with his back against the wall out there. He's made a couple of catches like that in this series, but that one sailed over his head.
It's the second career home run for Gasper.
Yeah, right there, I thought Corbin had a beat on it, but just up into the flower bed.
Edward Julian, the DH, bats ninth. In the 6th, and now Gasper in the 7th. 2-2 on Edouard Julien. Julien, the French Canadian from Quebec, 18th round pick, played at Auburn University. He's a native French speaker from Quebec City, where he grew up, went to school, learned to speak English when he went down south to play baseball at Auburn University. That's where the Twins got him.
Is that really English?
At Auburn?
In the South. Y'all.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Here's the splitter from DeSclafani, and he gets his first out in the 7th.
Goodman working out there to the outside corner.
Now it gets tricky. Byron Buxton as the lineup card turns over. A lot of movement on that split finger pitch. Buxton has hit in 6 straight games, 13 of 14. He's been an RBI machine. They have kept him relatively under control in this series. Just a pair of singles so far. But in his last 14 games, he's got 12 extra base hits, including 6 homers. Hopefully that got the pad.
Yeah, it looked like I got mostly pad, but I would imagine he's got some dings underneath that pad, so probably still didn't feel very good. Still not back in the batter's box yet.
And 2. Buxton having a career year at the age of 31. He's got 3 years left on a $100 million extension. Not excited about going through another rebuild here. Said it would be his 3rd. Talked about that last week and asked about all the trade deadline moves the Twins made. Moved 11 players off the roster. One can offer at that. Last year, Buxton was coming off surgeries on his right knee in each of his previous 2 years. The knees have been a constant problem for him, but healthy this year. And he's put up terrific numbers. Jammed him a bit. He got under it. Alec Thomas coming in with Barossa. Jorge peels off, and Alex got it for the second out. That'll bring up Austin Martin 0 for 3.
Hey, you mentioned the shadows working its way out in front of home plate. That means the sun is shining on the left side of the field. The long shadows behind the third baseman, the shortstop, the left fielder.
Right, sunny day here, just a few wispy clouds above. A sweltering Sunday for the folks here. Usually they have light jackets on. Everyone's walking around in t-shirts and shorts, flip-flops.
We'll break out the winter stuff next week.
Better have it ready. Big sports day here. You got the Twins, the Lynx, and the Vikings all in action. Got the call down there on that corner, 2-1.
Saw on the big board that the Lynx already won today.
Oh.
A nice round of applause from the fans who are following the WNBA.
Bullpen still quiet for Torey Lovello. There's no one warming up down there. Anthony trying to get through this seventh inning. Now that it's a one-run game again. Well, that sinker really had some run in there.
Jerry Rice fan?
Apparently. Old school. 3-2 on Austin Martin. Got it. The splitter caught the edge, and Chris Guccione rings up Martin. DeSclafani, though, bitten by Gasper's home run. Tonkin, who got the final out of the 7th. And what is once again a one-run game. Corbin 0 for 3 today. He has had a difficult road trip. 2 for 20 on the trip. In front of Buxton, and that will get down. Corbin Carroll, a base hit to get it started in the 8th. And here comes Ildemaro Vargas.
Get your motor running. Got the leadoff man on that you want. Corbin hits that right off the end of the bat into shallow center field. We've already seen Mickey Gasper try to throw out a couple of runners at second base. Very slow with the release. Not much arm strength. I expect Corbin to get going quickly.
Vargas came on midway through for Blaze Alexander. Lewis comes in a step on the grass at third. Blaze was hit in the elbow by a pitch. Had to leave the game in the 4th. Vargas grounded out his first time up. Corbin still holding. And Tonkin throws a sloppy sweeper up there.
Love to see Corbin get to second base because then Vargas could move him to third with the ground ball to the right side or a possible bunt.
Corbin still holding. Vargas bounces it into right. Corbin gets the read. Wallner's got it out there, and Corbin's in standing up at third. They're on the corners with no outs to open up the 8th inning. Ildemaro Vargas continues to contribute.
And he's had some big hits. He's also had some very unselfish at-bats. That's why I was talking about him moving Carroll from second to third. Should Corbin steal second base, Ildemaro has a real good grasp of how the game's supposed to be played and what needs to be done to get your team on the board.
Vargas has hit in 5 straight games now, 7 of his last 8. Jordan Lawler. Jordan doubled in the 4th inning and scored a run on the McCann home run. Trying to make up for 2 critical errors that cost the Diamondbacks 2 runs in the 2nd. They had a 1-0 lead. It became 2-1 Minnesota. Now they're hanging on with a 5-4 lead, a chance to add to it right here. Ooh. And Lawler took one right in the back. A sweeper just didn't sweep from Tonkin. And they're loaded now for Alek Thomas. Oh. So a promising start here. Not so much for Pete Mackey, the pitching coach, who has to get out to the mound. Twins bullpen for the moment is quiet. Alek Thomas will come up with the bases full and no outs. Alex already had a big day. He has singled, doubled, and scored twice.
They're partner with this parade of relief pitchers that we see in Major League Baseball nowadays. I had to look it up.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, there were 28 complete games this season.
Mm-hmm.
The leaders have 2.
Yeah.
In 1980, Rick Langford, pitching for Oakland, had 28 complete games by himself.
And then spent the next decade at the
at the orthopedic surgeon's office. Yeah,
that was the Billy Ball rotation where they all threw complete games all the time.
All
Mike
the time.
Norris, Rick Langford. I don't remember who else was in there.
Yeah, you're right though.
Yeah, those early '80s Billy Ball, Billy Martin athletic teams.
I mean, the last time anybody in the major leagues hit double digits in complete games was the 2011 season. Big game James Shields had 11.
And then got traded for Fernando Tatis Jr. Ooh. Alek Thomas, a big day, 2 for 3. Lee, the shortstop, is up the middle in front of Vargas at second. Alex sends it out to left. It's right at Martin. Here comes Corbin. Throw is cut off, and it's 6-4. RBI for Alek.
Alek's been doing that a little more lately, going to the opposite field. I think that would really help his game and buy him some pitches that he can really blister if he takes that pitch away and shoots it into left field often enough.
Here is McCann, who has driven in 4 of their 6 runs. James had an RBI single in the 2nd and a 3-run home run in the 4th. He's got Ildemaro Vargas at second. Jordan Lawler at first, 1 out. And there's the strike. Thomas Hatch, the right-hander, in the Minnesota bullpen. Picked up off waivers last month from Kansas City. 0-2 on McCann. Called strike 3. That fastball caught the edge of the zone for Chris Guccione. And there's 2 outs in the 8th. Showed up as a strike on the computer. Jorge Barosa, 0 for 3 to start in left field today. 2 on and 2 out, a run home. There's a strike with a fastball. Six runs, 8 hits for the Diamondbacks. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Twins. Tonkin pumping strikes in there. It's 0-2. Vargas, the runner at second base. Lawler's at first. Diamondback bullpen still quiet. Morey slaps it to short. Backhanded by Brooks Lee. High throw, but Clemens is there. They had bases loaded, nobody out. They got 1 to get that lead back to 2. Anthony DeSclafani has given up 2 home runs in 2 innings. Back out there for the 8th. Cody Clemens is the batter for the Twins. Clemens hits it out to right. Corbin is there. Quick out for DeSclafani in the 8th. If you're wondering who would close, send a postcard. Your guess is as good as ours.
Join the crowd.
Luke Keyshaw coming up to the Rocky theme.
The D-backs have made a couple defensive changes. It looks like Vargas is now at third base. I think
Connor Kaiser's at second. You're right. We have taken Lawler out of the game after Jordan committed 2 errors in the second that led to 2 Twins runs. Connor Kaiser goes to second, replacing Ildemaro Vargas, and Vargas goes from second to third. Oh, 2 on Luke Keyshaw, the ASU Sun Devil. Can tell you the Mets and Rangers have gone to extra innings at Citi Field, tied at 2. Jock Peterson, a 2-run single in the 7th, tied it up. And they're at extras in New York. The Reds have an early lead at Sacramento, 3-0 over the Athletics. Dodgers an early lead at San Francisco, 1-0. They're in the second. Cardinals lead the Brewers 3-2 in the 8th at Milwaukee. Keyshaw pokes it down the line but hooked it foul. Keyshaw has a pair of hits and RBIs in the series. He scored 2 runs. Second round pick by the Twins just 2 years ago out of Arizona State. Played a year under Willie Bloomquist with the Sun Devils. Hits it hard and through into left center, a base hit. And Wallner, who homered against DeSclafani in the 6th, will come up as the tying run. He hit a long home run out to right center. And he will face DeSclafani now for a second time. Remember last time we were here, Wallner on a Sunday hit a walk-off homer off Paul Sewald. So there is a little bit of history here. Strike 1 with a fastball.
Be very careful middle in against this guy. Obviously got big time pop to his pull field. Not sure how much he's got to the opposite field.
Out in front, got the split finger pitch, and it's 0-2. There's a big boy, 6'4", 220 pounds. 22 homers already, a career high for him. He's a native Minnesotan from Forest Lake, not too far from here. Type of power that Rocco Baldelli says when he hits it and he barrels it up. Balls do different things than what happens when most people hit them. They just go further and harder than anybody else, and Wallner's one of those guys.
Some guys are like that. You can stand behind a batting cage and face the backstop and just listen to the contact in the cage, and sometimes you know who's hitting. Oh, that's a good pitch.
Oh, boy. Chris Guccione missed one there. He had him rung up with that knuckle curve ball right on the line. Should have been strike 3.
Yeah, got him to quit on it. It started out of the strike zone, works its way back to the corner.
Good pitch by DeSclafani. Didn't get the call. It's 1-2. Keyshaw takes off. McCann with a throw. Not in time. Luke Keyshaw can really zip. That's his 13th steal. He's only been caught twice.
He got a nice jump over there at first base. Unfortunately, the throw's in the dirt down there to Perdomo. No chance to get Keyshaw anyway.
2-2 on Matt Wallner. 1 out in the 8th. Tying run at the plate for Minnesota. Keyshaw hopping around back there. And Wallner fouls off a curveball.
Yeah, it looked like Keyshaw had a big enough jump that time. If he'd have kept going, he probably would have stolen third base right there. Had a huge primary lead and a big jump toward third base, but then slammed on the brakes.
He was back there doing jumping jacks. Thomas shaded over toward the bullpen in left center. 2-2 on Matt Wallner. Check swing foul. Got that fastball up in there. Royce Lewis is the on-deck hitter for the Twins. Bullpen for the Diamondbacks. Still crickets back there. Always like that. As you always point out, you don't have to throw it back there.
No.
It's just as effective if you step off.
And you just want to shorten that lead by a step or two. Give your outfielders a chance. Should the ball be hit into the outfield, give them a chance to possibly throw him out at home plate.
The only problem with that is with Wallner up there, the outfielders are all back.
Yeah.
Respecting his tremendous power. It's a full count, 3-2. Strike three. The sinker got there. And Wallner barks at Guccione. He's still barking. Well, that made up for the missed call on the curveball. And it ends up as out number 2.
Yeah. Might have caught the corner right there. And I'll tell you, tip of the cap to Chris Guccione. We've seen umpires follow players back to the dugout when they're upset with a called third strike and eventually throw them out of the game. That time, Guccione just kept looking straight ahead.
Non-confrontational. You're right about that.
Yeah, you know a hitter's going to be upset if he takes a called third strike. You know, he's going to vent a little bit as long as he doesn't cross that line or stay out on the field too long.
These guys are out there competing. Splitter too low. Lewis won't bite it. It's 2-0. On the ground to short. Perdomo, long throw. Pulls Tawa off the bag. Jerry was deep in the hole there, and Lewis can really run. Not much he could have done there.
Nice play to get to that ball. Looked like Vargas was going to cut in front and take it away from Perdomo, but instead it gets through to Jerry. And long throw across the diamond that time. Good job by Tim Tawa to come off the bag and make sure that ball didn't get into foul territory and allow a run to score.
It's a base hit for Lewis. Conference time at the mound. Brooks Lee, the switch hitting shortstop, will be the batter for the Twins. Lee is 0 for 3 today. Tying runs aboard for Minnesota. Lee has only one hit in the series, a single in the 7th inning last night. Luke Keyshaw is at third base. Royce Lewis is the tying run at first with 2 outs. Lewis trying to get undressed down there. Needs some help. He's got somebody to hold his stuff. So Ramon Borrego, the first base coach, has to come over there and collect it. He's still got his stuff dangling there.
Yeah, he was trying to put the oven mitt on when the throw was snapped over there to first base.
Lee batting under $150 in his last 14 games. He's had a quiet bat this month. 1 hit in the series. Splitter all tied him up. It's 1-1. There's activity again in the Diamondback bullpen.
That's Jalen Beeks.
There goes Lewis. McCann throws through. Keyshaw stays put at third. Twins have been very aggressive on the bases. That's the 9th stolen base for Royce Lewis.
Yeah, got a good jump once again. Tough pitch for Mack to handle behind the plate. Had to reach to his left, catch the ball, then drag it all the way across his chest to the throwing side. And a nice play by Perdomo once again. Just keep the ball out of the outfield. A short hop throw into second base, and Jerry made like a goalie out there to make sure it didn't get through.
Base hit here ties the game. High in the air to right. Headed for the foul pole. And foul. Close.
I was watching Lee at the plate. He quit on that one immediately, and he wasn't posing. He realized it was going to go foul. Not by much.
Disfruta's already allowed 2 home runs in this appearance. Nearly had a third there, but he's a strike away. 2-2 on Brooks Lee. Tried that backdoor curve again, and again does not get the call from Chris Guccione. Those have both been borderline strikes. And the count is full. Gasper, who homered off Disfruta in the 7th, is the on-deck hitter. And McCann wants to talk it over.
And that big pitch upcoming right here. You want to make sure everybody's on the same page, that Disco's committed to whatever pitch James McCann calls for back there.
Well, he's shown Lee so far the splitter, the fastball, and the curve.
I think we're having a pitch comm issue again. Oh, McCann will complete his visit to the mound.
Might have died on the way out there. It's a big moment for the Diamondbacks and for Anthony Disfruta. They need this game. They need every game. The Mets have just won. So the Mets snapped their long losing streak. They have walked off the Texas Rangers 5-2 in the 10th inning. Pete Alonso, the polar bear, with a walk-off homer. So the Mets have won. 3-2 to Brooks Lee. And he's loaded the bases for Gasper, who just homered his last time up. To the mound. He's got Jalen Beeks warming up. Gasper is a switch hitter. And Rocco Baldelli only has one right-hand option on his bench that he could go to. It's McCusker. They do have the catcher Pareda, but we'll see how the Twins want to counterpunch. Jalen Beeks inherits a bases-loaded jam. Back in a moment. minor leagues last week. Bases full of Twins and 2 outs.
He pinch hit in the 7th inning last night. Wasn't he the guy that drove Alec Thomas all the way out there to the 403 mark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alec caught it up against the wall to the deep part of center field. McCusker hit 22 homers, drove in 70 runs across the river in St. Paul for their AAA affiliate this year. This is his 3rd time up with the big league roster. Played 3 years of independent ball to get to the major leagues, and now he's got his moment right here. Hard to Perdomo. Jerry's got it. And Beeks gets the big out they had to have, and it stays 6-4. He leads. Hatch picked up by the Twins off waivers. New battery as Johnny Pareda takes over behind the plate after they hit for Gasper. And Tim Tawa leads off the 9th. Tim had a big 2-out RBI single in that 7th. Little looper. It's hanging up there for Wallner, but he's able to get to the spot. And there's one away. Here's Geraldo Perdomo. Lineup card turns over. Looks like Ryan Thompson warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. Twins will have 9, 1, and 2 scheduled up in the home half of the 9th inning. Here's RT. He will be pitching for the 3rd consecutive game in this series, albeit briefly. Got 2 outs Friday night. Threw 2 pitches last night to get a big out. They are thin back there. Thomas Hatch, a former third-round pick by the Cubs out of Oklahoma State. There's the final for the Mets. Pete Alonso, a walk-off homer in extra innings to beat the Rangers. Hatch has bounced around. Blue Jays, Pirates. This year the Royals and the Twins. 3-1 on Perdomo. He walked his last time up 0 for 3. Line right by Keyshaw and into right. And a 1-out single for Perdomo. Take a look at the wild card picture. Only 12 games to go after today. The Mets win. They beat Texas. They snap that losing streak. Ketel Marte 0 for 4, the DH.
Yeah, since the Brewers have already clinched, it'd be interesting to see what kind of lineups Pat Murphy runs out there for the Brew Crew. I'm sure there's some guys on that roster that could use a day off or two. Some guys maybe in the bullpen that could use a little bit of a blow. And now that they've clinched the postseason spot, they might start giving guys a little bit of time off.
We might see that same thing against the Phillies next weekend.
Yeah.
They're in a position where they might be able to do that as well, which would help the Diamondbacks' cause certainly. First, we're going to finish off this one. A win today gets them to 75-75. This is game 150 of 162. Perdomo with a big lead going on first move. They got him hung up. And Jerry wipes out Brooks' lead, but he's out.
Once you get out there far enough, you might as well just keep on going. You see Jerry trying to anticipate that first move and got out there in no man's land. Yeah, that's when you're hoping the throw from the first baseman hits you in the back as you're sliding into second base.
Jeff Bannister on the top step. 1-1 on Marte. Ketel slaps it to left center. This has got some room out there, and it drops into the big outfield and gets to the wall. Martin picks it up, and Marte's got the double. So that out on the bases hopefully won't come back to bite them.
Yeah. Breaking ball down, out over the plate. Ketel goes out and scoops it into left center field. Ball slicing away from Byron Buxton the entire time, all the way out to the warning track.
We'll give Corbin Carroll the intentional free pass with first base open and work to Wildemaro Vargas. So Vargas up there. He singled his last time up, came in midway through for Blaze Alexander. Blaze got hit by a fastball on the elbow and had to leave the game midway through. Vargas singled his last time up. 2 on and 2 out. Vargas has hit now in 5 consecutive games, 7 of his last 8. He's got 5 runs batted in over that stretch. Hitting .263 on the year. Off the glove of Pareda, but everybody stays put.
Love to watch Corbin Carroll when he's the trail runner. Marte's on at second base, Corbin on at first base. Corbin has his eyes on Ketel. He doesn't turn and look toward home plate until that ball is delivered, and he's sure Marte is not running.
Connor Kaiser is the on-deck hitter. He came in to play second base after they moved some pieces around the chessboard. 2-1 on Vargas. Marte at second, Carroll's at first. 2 outs. Yeah, he went, says Edwin Moscoso. Offered it to Slider. Byron Buxton to strand 2 runners in the 7th last night. He threw only 2 pitches in the game last night. Edouard Julien, the number 9 man, leads off the Minnesota 9th. Julien had an RBI single in that second after the 2 Jordan Lawler errors set up the Twins for a 2-run second. They took a temporary lead there until that McCann home run in the 4th. Working that sinker at the bottom of the zone. 2 balls and a strike. Byron Buxton on deck. Then it's Austin Martin.
He may have heard James McCann there. Get over! Reminding his pitcher that ground ball on the right side. You're responsible to cover first base, and that's the catcher's job on a ground ball on the right side. Yell, get over!
They're supposed to yell at the guy like that?
Yeah.
Wow. All sinkers so far from Ryan. Trying another one. Full count, 3-2. Danger in the on-deck circle with Buxton.
put it in play. No walks.
Nothing but that two-seam sinker down in the zone. Pounding away down there. Seventh pitch of the at-bat. Just by the reach of Ryan. Connor Kaiser's over there, and that's the first out. Todd Wall standing by. Post-game preview brought to you by Talking Stick Resort. Diamondbacks a chance to get back to 500. They would be 75-75 and keep pace in the wild card race. The Mets have already won. Here is the dangerous Byron Buxton. Giants trail at home against the Dodgers 2-1. They're headed to the fourth. The Reds have a 3-0 lead at Sacramento. They're in the fourth. Broke out the slider. 0-2. Punches it down the right field line and just foul. Tried the sinker away. He went with it the other way and nearly hit it down that line fair.
Way foul.
Got him. Big sweepy slider, and Buxton goes down swinging for the second out.
Boy, another nice job on the superstar of this Minnesota Twins team. They pretty much kept him in check this entire series. As you mentioned, just a couple of harmless singles. He scored 1 run.
He had a 6-game hitting streak. 14 RBIs in his last 14 games, but they did a good job on Buxton. That's been a big key. Martin 0 for 4.
A little slip on the mound there.
Some housekeeping now for Ryan. I imagine that Bailey Ober, at 6'9", kind of jams up the front of that mound.
I don't think anybody else can reach that landing hole.
Well, maybe Ryan.
Yeah, maybe.
Martin is a very patient hitter. He's a guy that, although he struck out twice today, has been walking more than he strikes out. Not a guy that chases a lot of pitches. Punches that one by Tower, and the Twins will get the tying run to the plate, and guess who? It's Cody Clemens.
You mentioned Martin walking more than he strikes out. That's what was very noticeable in the first game of this series. He eyeballed a bunch of borderline pitches.
Torey Lovullo has Kyle Backus warming up with the bullpen for the left-on-left matchup in case Martin was able to extend the inning and bring Clemens up there. And it looks like Torey will go to the left-hander here.
Ready for Clemens right here.
So it's round 2. Backus and Clemens, game possibly on the line. Clemens had the 3-homer, 5 RBI game Friday, and had the big 2-run single in the 8th inning that tied last night's game. He singled his first time up today. He's 1 for 4. Martin with good speed at first. And Backus trying to get that sweeper somewhere close. It's 2-0.
Yeah, right now the Diamondbacks aren't holding Martin on first base. Tawa starts right behind him and then backs up as the pitch is being delivered.
Sinker just off the edge. It's ball 3. Luke Keyshaw, the Sun Devil, is on deck. Got the low strike call. Put the sweeper away, went back to the sinker for the second time, and just nicked the bottom of that zone. Austin Martin still holding. And now the tying runs are aboard. Here comes Keyshaw as the winning run at the plate for Minnesota.
I certainly understand why they're being careful with Cody Clemens right there, but man, you don't want to put the potential tying run on base via the walk.
Well, they just did, and now Brian Kaplan's going to have to figure something out. Keyshaw's a hot hitter, the rookie. Tying runs aboard with 2 outs. Winning run at the plate for the Twins. Lost the feel for that changeup. One out away from a series win and a .500 record. And he hit Keyshaw. Well, I hate to say this, but the last time we were here on a Sunday, Matt Wallner walked it off for the Minnesota Twins against Paul Sewald. And here comes Wallner, who's already homered once today.
Now Kyle Backus, when he's throwing strikes, is a much tougher at bat for a left-handed hitter than Paul Sewald. So hopefully Kyle can find that zone here quickly.
Wallner homered off Anthony DeSclafani in the 6th, his 22nd of the year. Light tower power. One and one, the sinker's there. Austin Martin, the runner at third base. James Outman's the tying run at second base. Luke Keyshaw's the winning run at first. Short left. Can they get there? Vargas, it's foul. It's foul. Just too far up that line for Vargas to get there. And he's shaken up. Oh my God, his cleat caught in the turf.
A nice effort there. Not an easy play going back, looking back into the sun as he tries to track down that pop-up in foul territory just out of his reach.
He rolled over the baseball. So Backus a strike away. 1-2 from Kyle Backus. Didn't miss by much. Tough take by Wallner. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to work these lefties away with that sinker.
It would appear to have him set up for that sweeping slider, but hasn't really thrown it for strikes in this appearance so far.
Now the 2-2. Wallner lifts it out to right. Corbin Carroll backing up in front of the warning track, and Corbin's got it. And Kyle Backus gets that final out. And the Diamondbacks get the series win, and they get back to 500. They are 75-75, and right in the thick of this National League wildcard race.
Should really make that home seat even more fun now. Diamondbacks starting to feel it a little bit. If that bullpen can just hold up over the last couple weeks of this season, Diamondbacks have a legit chance.
Giants right now trailing at home against the Dodgers 2-1. They're in the 4th. The Mets have already run. And the Reds have a 3-2 lead at Sacramento. So they are still in this thing.